Everyone, Coach Sullivan here again with MJS Coaching Football. To my subscribers, I thank you, and to those who haven't yet, I really hope you do. Just completed my 38th year coaching football. I was a defensive coordinator, but over that time, I've been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator, longtime head coach. I've coached every position on defense, offense, again, both at the collegiate and high school levels. All right, and so what I'd like to talk to you about here today is one of our Go Blitzes that we simply call Rover Go, or we add a stick tag and it's Rover Go Stick. Okay, we do that out of our base 3-4. So today in the presentation, I'm going to teach it to you versus 21 personnel as well as 10. Okay, so 2 backs, 1 tight end, 1 back, no tight ends. You can run this against all offensive personnel groups, but I want to specifically show you the versatility. Okay, and the reasons that this can be effective. And sorry about that. The key terms today: Seacrass. This is the Rover Blitz technique, and I'll teach you the footwork that we teach that simplifies the process and helps get the Rover to the aiming points. I'm going to teach you the first and second level aiming points, even though that's not up here. It's going to be built into the presentation. Spill bending cage. If it's run to, run away, or pass, okay, what these things mean. The lucky ring call is made by the Rover, and I've said many times, so non-subscribers, first time here, right? Please hit that button. Doesn't cost anything. If the Rover doesn't know who he is, then we got bigger fish to fry, okay? Louis Roger call by the safeties. What reduce means, okay, DN call side is in the B, nose goes A to the call, and we call that reduce. We do our best with verbiage to only use it in one way, and all reduce means to us is just that, D end and B, A to the same side. So A, B are taken care of right now by movement. Okay, and that's built into our Go Blitz. Subscribers, hit the button and you can see the introduction. And what the stick tag mean. Now the DN call side sticks A, which bumps the nose to A away. Okay? And that's the only difference. So I'll build all that into today's presentation. So what I'd like to do is bring this to life in the diagram. So up top, I have it drawn up versus 21i Pro, and on the bottom versus spread 10 gun Detroit. So 4 wide receivers. Okay? So any questions you might have, non-subscribers, about alignments and the Mike's here in this group and he's over here in another group, again, hit that button. Doesn't cost anything. All right? So what I've done is I've illustrated it versus what's our base 3-4 front, okay, which we call 50. My suggestion is, and it's my coaching philosophy, whatever your base is, install it, and even install, whatever front you're going to execute, or at least think you're going to execute it either in the spring, preseason, or both. I'd strongly advise whatever blitz package you have, whatever movements up front you have, teach those versus in your base front first. Because what I have found is if we try and ask our players to execute newly installed pressures out of more than one front, they get confused just simply because they're worrying about lining up right. Okay, so eventually you get to a point where you could start to execute, in this case, a Rover Go or Rover Go tag out of multiple fronts. Okay, and then it just becomes different starting point, same ending point, son. Different starting point, same ending point. Okay, and I'm going to give you that example not just for versatility reasons, but there is a different starting point versus 10 personnel than there is versus 21 or a tight end. Okay, so you ready? Here we go. So I'm going to illustrate the defense, the guys who are blitzing, and I'm going to just show the rotation of the safeties. That's all I'm going to talk about when it comes to the coverage trio. Again, subscribers, hit the button. Okay? So the communications are pre-snap. We got Lucky, made by the Rover. Then the safeties follow that up with a Louie. If it's Lucky, it's Louie. If it's Ringo, it's Roger. We make our guys say it all the time. Practicing in games. It means everything else. Doesn't mean squat to the offense. And I don't care if the offense even knows what it means. Because, to be honest, they're not going to. But that's what I say to our players. Okay? So let me first talk about the blitz technique. Okay, what's meant by a C crash. Okay, the footwork. When the Rover is on a tight end, he is attached. Okay, attached equals versus a tight end. So when he's on a tight end, his toes are even. Or head up, he's what we call 8 technique. He's not a one gap. He's not a, 2 gap. He's a 1 gap, but it's still knock back, read the hat. Okay? So when we get down here, he's going to have a staggered stance. So this is how we teach it. The footwork is what we call dig, crossover, dig, crossover, dig, crossover. Dig is the inside and or up foot, crossover, back and or outside foot. So there's your introduction to my terrible handwriting. Sorry, I'm one of those kids that barely got through elementary school because I did so poorly with my handwriting. My grandmother, first grade teacher, it was frustrating for her. Okay, so dig crossover. So what that means, okay, I know you can't see my feet, but whether the toes are even or whether you're in the stagger, it's the same foot. It's the inside foot, which is the one closest to the ball. Okay, so over here, it's the right foot. Over here, it's the left foot. Whether, again, toes even or stagger, doesn't matter. You lift that heel of the inside foot, and on the snap, step with the outside foot or the back foot, and you pivot on the inside foot. It just naturally happens by lifting the heel. You pivot and cross, and we just say dig off that front toe. Get a little extra push off of it, and that eliminates false steps. Okay? So that's the footwork. So now the technique, right? First level aiming point is the butt of the tackle. So when you're on a tight end, you're right there. So there's going to be something else built in because of the tight end. Okay, so right now, let me talk to you about these guys. The reduce. It's just a regular Rover go. Okay, slant or pinch technique, which means they're stepping at the hip, right? Pinch B, pinch A, that's the reduce. Penetrate, eliminate A and B right now. Spill it out to your C crash blitzer. Okay? So what's built in here when you have a tight end, in addition to the footwork, right, dig and crossover, you also have to rip your outside arm hard. So you rip across the tight end. Otherwise, if you just step and he blocks you, he's going to wash you down. And that's going to make the hole that much bigger. Okay, so when it's versus a tight end, you also have to rip the outside arm. Okay, so we just say, right? Dig, crossover, and rip. Dig, crossover, and rip. And rip is the outside arm. Okay? So, now, spill versus 2-back, right? What do they want to do? They want to run power. They want to run ISO. So here's first level. Let me eliminate these guys. Okay, they're there. They're penetrated. Let me get them out of the way for a second. Okay, first level is the butt. Second level, 1 yard in front. So in this case, it's going to be the fullback. So let me draw the fullback in red. Fullback's coming on that course to kick you out, right? Power play. By having the second level landmark 1 yard in front, that puts you on a course to spill, rip through the arm. Well, wrong arm, spill and pry. That puts you on that course. Just by having the landmark, put you on that course. And it's an easy way to drill it and practice it. It doesn't take but 5 minutes a week in season. Okay? It's going to be another presentation, another playlist. Non-subscribers, boop, 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 push the button. Okay? So that's why we do it. This is a C-gap blitz specifically. That is the footwork, no matter who's executing it. That's the first level landmark, second level landmark, no matter who else is doing it. For that reason, because run 2, you're spilling it, okay? And the landmark puts you in that position, okay? Consequently, bend, run away. That same landmark, here to here, and you'll see it quick. They're running ISO to the 2-man surface. Bend and chase it down, baby. Bend and chase, bend and chase, bend and chase. You'll recognize that immediately. Bend and chase, okay? And so part of that is never, ever is the goal blitzer responsible for quarterback on boot. Never, ever. Okay? Here's 2 landmarks, first and second level. Put them on a course to spill the run to them, bend and chase the run away. Don't put your kid in conflict and say, well, you also have to get booed. Ah! The offensive line in an RPO or even the boot scheme does a really good job selling run. And in an RPO, the offensive line usually is blocking the run. To them, it is a run. Well, now don't crucify your kid and say, how come you didn't get the boot? I mean, like, seriously? Okay? So he's reading surface because if this first level, now that brings in caged pass, if this first level, and it's not as easy in this sense, he's showing pass, he's got to get a peek at the guard. He's got to listen. Because if the guard is also pass blocking, he's going to hear pass from his inside linebacker buddies. He's going to hear pass from his safety. But he's got to see that. Because then, cage means contain. Whoop! He's got to get contained. He's got to read that on the run. Okay? Read on the run. So what we get, a fair amount of, because of our reputation, they'll pass set the tackle because he's on the backside to try and prevent that, or they'll fan block to try and prevent the rover from sea crashing. Because we make quite a few plays coming from the backside with this. So the offensive remedy is that. Fan block by the tackle and or pass set. And then it's up to them to figure out how to take care of these guys. But when that happens, okay, either a fan block or a pass set, what we say is cross his face into B gap. Because if you go backfield shoulder, you have no chance at bending. He's pass setting, everybody else is run blocking, bend. You're on the backside. You don't hear pass, bend. You're on the backside. So that's a tough one. So if you get that one, or you know you're going to get that, or you think you're going to get that one, you got to drill it and rep it, drill it and rep it, drill it and rep it. Again, see another playlist. So again, hit that button. It doesn't cost anything, non-subscribers. Okay? So now we just add the stick tag. So let me try and clean this up for you. Again, it gets messy real fast. All the stick tag does is change it for the DN call side and the nose. So now instead of reducing, DN call side sticks A, which bumps the nose to A away. That's it. Everything stays the same for the roller. So whenever it's Lucky, it's going to be the end. And whenever it's Ringo, it's the stud because they stay left and right. Okay? So this is awesome blitz versus a two-back team. It really does screw things up for the power, the ISO to the two-man, ISO to the tight end. Screws up the counter, coming back to the two-man surface, counter, coming back to the tight end. It gums up the works, okay? So now I'm going to come down here, and rather than go through all these again, I just want to show you the versatility of the blitz, okay? And now the same defender, possibly, if you got a big tight ends, this could be another inside linebacker. Since this is spread, this might be a different outside linebacker, or it could be a DB. I get that. Rarely in my 38 years has this kid been the same versus the two different personnel groups. That's fine. You teach it the same way to all your players anyway, okay, to answer that question. You teach it to the same. You don't teach it differently because it's a DB. You teach it the same. Okay? So now here we've got it versus 10, so it's spread. It's a Liz, and if you want to know why not subscribe, boop, hit the button. Okay? So again, it's going to be a trio. And excuse me before I forget. Lucky Louie on the snap. He screws down. He rotates middle, and that's all I wanted to talk about as far as trio. Not subscribe, boop, hit the button. So now over here, it's middle of the field, it's Liz, and if you want to know why, push the button. So now the Rover's on the right. He says Ringo. They say Roger. Okay. On the snap. Reduce. C crash. First level, second level, right? 1 yard in front. On the snap. He's going to screw down. He's going to rotate middle. There it is. Insist your kids communicate loudly. Don't ever let them say, oh, I was thinking it, Coach. Well, that's wonderful. Does anybody else know you were thinking it? I don't believe in osmosis. Never have, never will. Okay, Coach Meanyhead shows up when those things happen. It's part of the gig, right? So then everything kicks in. Okay, if you play side, you spill it. If you're backside, you bend it. Bend and chase, never have boot. Stick tag. The end call side, Ringo, it's the stud, bumps the nose away. There it is. Boom, done. Okay? So we use the stick tag like, as an example. If there's a definite, not just personnel tendency 21, but situation, and then second medium, they like to run the ISO to the two-man surface. We already got an extra guy there versus 21, so to add to that side as well, we'll use the stick tag and get these guys moving to try and defeat and screw up their double team scheme, right? If it's going to be one of those deals, try and dig them out and add by ISO in the linebacker, there you go. If they're going to have to fan block it because of this, now you got that move. Oh, my God, right? Plus the linebacker. This is why we use the stick tag. Here, I've utilized this to try and stop, as an example, if the back were offset, kind of screw up reads for the zone read of the RPO. Or whenever they put the back here, they're going to run inside zone over here. So this is another reason to do it. Okay, so this is a very, very versatile blitz concept. The Rover Go stick, we install on the same day, and we install the dime equivalent in the same day because it's the same blitz, just two different guys doing it, outside linebackers. Okay, so quickly in review, it's a C crash, so it's a dig crossover. That's the footwork, inside foot, outside foot. Play side run, spill, backside run, bend, pass. You got the cage. Lucky is a Louie, Ringo's a Roger, so we spin the safeties in the direction of the outside linebacker pressure. Reduce means the D-line are pinching A and B to the side of the call. Stick, this, I understand a lot of programs call a long stick. We try and eliminate unnecessary verbiage. The only time we do a two-gap move, this case reduction into the ball, it's a stick. This is a slant technique to pinch, so that's why we do it, okay? You can easily do that. Just boop, point to the ground, and it gives you a lot of versatility. So as I said at the beginning to my subscribers, I thank you, and I hope I've made the point to non-subscribers. Please do. You got access to everything. But to everybody, please reach out to me, Coach MJ Sullivan at gmail.com, because I'm starting to get more of that, and it's just an opportunity for us to share ideas and pop questions off of each other, and I end up learning something every single time as well. So it's beneficial for me. All right. Hope you have a great day. Take care.